Hey everybody, I'm going to go over the first quiz here, maybe the second one. Um, and this is the order that I'm seeing on my screen. So the first Indians Devaka encounter with the Karankawan, and they were friendly to the Spanish, which was a big mistake. They probably should have killed the Spanish because a lot of Karankawan got disease and died very quickly. Um, he ended up number two. Devaka ended up in Spanish Texas because the mission that he had started with started in Spanish Florida, and it was a fiasco. And so these folks were trying to make it back to the populated parts of Mexico by hugging the Gulf Coast. Number three, Galveston in La Relacion was called the island of misfortune, the island of ill fate. And the Karankawa cried when they saw that when the Spanish had tried to leave and had gotten pushed back by the waves. The Karankawa felt sorry for them and started to cry. And I think that's when Devaka realized that they were human beings too. Let's see, Devaka reconnected with the Spanish in what's now, I think, Sinaloa, and his initial feelings were horror because the Spanish were on a slave hunting expedition to take Indian slaves, and they attempted to take some of the Indians he was with as slaves. Let's see, one of the most interesting facts about the Spanish or the Karankawan was the Karankwans were nomadic. They moved around during the year. They were relatively healthy people, and some of the men grew as tall as 6 feet, which is pretty incredible. Actually, taller than most males anywhere in the globe at that point. Number six, one of the striking features of the Condoan Indian groups was, unlike most Texas Indians, the Condoan were a farming people, an agricultural system that allowed them to stay in one place from throughout the year, unlike every other Indian group in Texas, which traveled around during the year for better hunting or agriculture, mostly hunting, I guess. Number seven, the Spanish called themselves Christian. That's how they self-identified. That was the most important thing to them. Number eight, Devaka, he talks about the men that they killed and ate one another, and soon only one Spaniard was left. Pretty incredible that he named names, because we still know those people's names in 2020. It's he was not happy with them. He despised them, and he wanted to kind of damn them for all time and eternity. So anyway, the people who he named, what got him so mad in the Karankawan is that they killed and ate each other. They went to cannibalism. So the Spanish land, something begins to happen with Indians along the coast, and it's of course disease. They got stomach illness, and Devaka says within a few weeks or months, half of them died. Always, always, always the case when you had Indian groups encountering Europeans. Number 10, according to the video I posted of Frank de la Teja at Texas State, what's the most notable change in Devaka? At first, he felt superior to the groups he encountered, but then he grew to greatly respect their culture and society, which says just a lot about Devaka, I think, and his basic humanity. He's a really admirable person. What Indian group they were sedentary, non-nomadic farmers who grew corn, squash, watermelons. Okay, they're the Caddo, which I talked about before. Okay, so that is quiz one. I guess I'll have to do these in separate videos that I'll string together.